Hi everyone, today we're working on the LeetCode challenge number 1732 called Find the Highest Altitude. And in this challenge we've got a biker that's going on an imaginary road trip, and the road trip consists of n+1 points at different altitudes. And the biker is going to start at point 0 with his altitude being equal to 0. And now we're given an integer array called gain of length n, where gain at each point, at each index, is going to give us his net gain in altitude between points I and I+1. And what we need to do is return the highest altitude of any given point along his journey. So we can look at the example right here. We know that he starts at an altitude of 0, and his first gain here is going to be -5. So if we look at this array right here, he goes from 0 to -5. His next gain is 1, so he goes to -4. His next gain is 5, so he goes to 1, and so on and so forth. That gain is always giving us the net change in his altitude. And we need to essentially track what all those points are, find out what they are, and then return the highest one, or his highest altitude on this road trip. So we're going to create an empty array here that's going to store all of the points along his journey. And actually I misspoke, it's not going to start as an empty array. We're going to put the first value in there, which is going to be 0, because they tell us that he does start at an altitude of 0. Then we need to loop through the numbers that are given to us in the gain array. So for let num of gain. Okay, now to track each of these points, what we want to do is add the num plus the last element in this points array, because you're always adding that net change in elevation to whatever the last point was. So num plus points at the index of points dot length -1, which will give us that last element. And we want to take this value and we want to add it to make it the next element in the points array. So we're going to wrap this in parentheses and points dot push that value in. Now, just to make sure everything's working correctly, let's go ahead and console log the points array. We'll run this. We're just checking to make sure that we're finding the correct points. If you take a look right here, looks like this array is matching what we see in the example, so it looks like we are on the right track. And now we simply need to return the highest point. So we're going to use math.max, the spread operator, in the points array, and that should give us the correct output here. That's good. Looks like we're passing there. Let's submit. Make sure this works. And there we go. We have a solution that works for number 1732.